Talk of the day, unpopular opinion. Well, the opinion is unpopular, but the conversation is necessary. I'm your host, Uncle KG. I want to thank y'all for joining me today. First and foremost, I want to thank everybody that tuned in and watched my first podcast. I want to thank y'all from the bottom of my heart. There was a lot of work that went into it. I want to thank everybody that watched it, that shared it, that liked it, that subscribed to the channel, everybody that commented and gave me your honest feedback. I really do appreciate y'all. Now, for those of you who didn't see the first one, please go back and watch it. But if you're here joining me today, I want to explain to you exactly what Unk Talk is, because you may not know. Unk Talk is it's a mentality, it's an idea, it's a conversation with your big brother, your favorite uncle, a mentor, that sort of figure, right? Who's going to give you an unpopular opinion, but it's going to be honest. It's going to be truthful. It's going to be something that you may need to hear, right? So that's the whole idea behind Untalk. It's not a age group or age bracket. It's a level of maturity, um, uh, and a level of understanding, if you will, that goes into a conversation of a particular subject matter, right? So, with that being said, my subject matter or my topic for today is toxic masculinity. Toxic masculinity. Some of y'all not gonna like me today, but that's all right. You know, this is Uncle KG talking, so I'm gonna give it to you the best way that I can. Toxic masculinity does not exist, people. Toxic masculinity does not exist. It's not real. Toxic masculinity is a phrase that somebody cloned somewhere to describe the bad traits and qualities of a man. And that society took it and just ran with it, right? It's nothing toxic about masculinity. Me being a masculine man, walking in true essence of masculinity, is nothing toxic about that. Masculinity, manhood itself cannot be toxic, people. There's nothing toxic about it. With masculinity comes a level of protection, being provided for, a level of security, a level of feeling safe, a level of leadership, a level of responsibility. There's nothing toxic about that. Now you do have toxic people, you have a toxic relationship, a toxic environment, but we cannot classify a main quality of a particular gender toxic. It's impossible. A man and woman can do the same thing, right? Let's say they both cheat or they both are emotionally or verbally abusive. As society, we're so quick to just label this person that's toxic masculinity. But does toxic femininity exist? Do you see where I'm going with this? Toxic masculinity is not real. Just because he's a man that made a bad choice, a bad decision, because he offended you, does not make masculinity toxic. No, those are bad traits. Those are bad characteristics of that person. His masculinity has nothing to do with it. Let me say that again. His masculinity has nothing to do with his toxic behavior. Understand that. There's nothing toxic about that. And I believe it's to the point where, like, society doesn't even know what masculinity is anymore. Nobody knows what masculinity is anymore, except the true men that walk in masculinity. We're becoming extinct at this point in time. Because I'm masculine, you may be just labeled aggressive. Or because you tend to make the tough decisions or step up to the plate or handle certain things a certain way. Oh, that's toxic. Oh man, that's not toxic masculinity at all. At all. Men, we gotta get back to providing, leading, standing on business, owning up to our responsibility. We got to get back to that, regardless if they call you toxic or not. You got to stand in the true essence of manhood. We got to get back to that because it's as far as I'm concerned, we are almost extinct. I seen a guy made a post and he said, "I spent my whole life trying to be the man that my grandfather and father raised me to be, just for society to tell me that I'm toxic." That was powerful, man. That was crazy. That was crazy. If you had a positive male role model in your life and he showed you and told you and taught you and led by example of what masculinity is, what manhood is, hold on to that. Pay that forward. Give that to the next young fella that's out here trying to find his way. Because you got a lot of men that's not present. You got a lot of young men that are looking for leadership, are looking for guidance, are looking for mentors. Take them under your wing, fellas. Instill and pour into them. Help them. Because if we don't, it's going to be up to society to tell us what we really are, who we are. But I want to just be clear about that. When it comes down to being a masculine man, there's nothing toxic about that. You got people that have done bad things and bad traits. You have toxic relationships and toxic environments, but masculinity itself, it cannot be toxic, people. True masculinity will make women want to bask in their femininity because now they don't have to try to fulfill both roles. Does that make sense? As a woman, if you are a woman, you cannot tell me what masculinity is anyway. I'm sorry, you can't. You can tell me what you think it is. You can tell me what you've known it to be. You can tell me what you would like it to be. But you cannot tell me what true masculinity is because you don't walk in the essence of that. All that is for you is an experience. Just like I cannot tell you, me being a man, I cannot tell you what being feminine is or what femininity truly is. I can tell you what I think it is, what I would like it to be, what I've known it to be based upon my experiences, what I would like to see in a woman. But because I don't walk that walk, I cannot tell you who you are, what your traits should be. I cannot tell you that. Cannot tell you that. And here go this unpopular opinion again, but Uncle KG gonna give it to you straight. If you're a man calling other men toxic or calling them, toxic men or that's toxic masculinity, if you're saying another man that's toxic masculinity, all you doing, man, is just caping for women. That's all you doing. Or trying to feel better about yourself. It's a level of insecurity there. True masculine men, we need to stand on business, man. That's being providers, that's being protectors, that's making people feel safe. I can tell you right now, any woman or child in my presence, I'm gonna make sure that you're safe. I'm gonna make sure that you provided for. I'm gonna make sure that you're good. I'm gonna step up to the plate and do what I gotta do. I'm gonna make sure that you're safe. I'm gonna lead that situation. We got to keep that in mind, man. That toxic masculinity is just a phrase somebody came up with to pin us as men and women against each other, to make us look bad as a whole gender or whatever you want to call it. It was a quote that I seen. I can't remember who said it, but the quote was, "Hard times create strong men. Strong men create easy times. Easy times create weak men. Weak men create hard times." At this point where we are in society, I feel like This is a weak time, and I'm hoping and praying that it produces some strong men because we need that. That's all I got for y'all, man. I'm talking today, unpopular opinion. Well, the opinion may be unpopular, but the conversation is necessary. I appreciate y'all for joining me. Until next time.